Okay, just a very quick update, another update on finishing off the gearbox, fitting the outer casing to the rest of the gearbox and finish it off. Also, I thought, if you watched these videos before, you might remember that I fitted this inner casing, and after I fitted it, someone wrote in and said, oh, you've forgotten to fit the bearings. There's these roller bearings that go on the shaft. Oh crikey, so I had to take the whole thing back off. This nut is very tight and held on with an awful lot of Loctite to make sure it doesn't come undone, so it was doubly hard to undo, but I took it all off. Took the whole inner casing back off again, fitted those roller bearings, put it back on again, re-Loctited the nut, etc. Fine. So I've now got all the casing ready to go on. I've got the new studs, the correct studs, that will go in the inner casing, ready to slide the casing on, all good. Then I've fitted the correct bush that goes for the kickstart shaft. This is obviously that comes in from the other side. But so I've heated the casing up in the barbecue, and I've pushed that bush in. Then the engineers, they made up this lovely little sort of blanking plug, mushroom headed plug, so I've put that in, and that blanks off where the speedo drive would be, but I don't need it. So all well and good, everything ready, and then I'm just getting ready to fit everything, and I go oh that's right, I was just going to fit these studs, and I went to get a couple of nuts out of the box so that I could lock the nuts together and put the studs in. And while I was in the box, I thought, what's this bag here? What's in there? Selector pawl plunger. Selector pawl plunger. I don't know how you can see that. But anyway, I suddenly realised that is the selector that goes inside the gearbox. It does, once again, it does, the lay shaft, that's the selector shaft. It once again locates with the selector shaft. And this pawl locks the gears, once the gear has been selected, it just locks it a bit to stop it jumping out of gear. And I've forgotten to put it in. So for the second time, I'm going to have to take this all off again and now fit another bit that I forgot to put in. Now, this one is particularly bad because what I did was I deliberately did not fit that so that I could turn the gearbox over by hand, because once the pawl is fitted on this spring, it makes the gearbox quite tight. For normal foot operation, that's fine, but just on the bench trying to turn the gearbox over by hand, it makes it very difficult. So I deliberately left it off so I could check the gearbox was working. Now, a very similar thing happens when sometimes I don't fully tighten a nut for some reason because I want some play before everything's settled and then tighten it up. Now what I normally should do, is I put a note on the garage, on the wall, saying such and such a nut not fully tightened up, because you forget, and then you're out riding and the thing comes off or whatever. Now what I should have done is put a note on the garage wall saying don't forget to fit the pawl. But I didn't, A, because it's so obvious I needed to fit it that I didn't think I needed to put a note, and B, I've got my own rules, but of course I don't always follow them. I'm very good at giving advice, not so good at following it, not even following my own advice. So I should have put a note there. I should have done, but anyway. So so once again, I'm going to take all this inner casing off again, then fit the pawl and the spring, and this is the screw that the spring goes in, but I've got to take the whole thing off to fit the pawl, and then put it all back on, and then fit the studs and then the inner casing. So I mean, time is precious for me at the moment, and I could do without this, but on the well, I think part of it is because it's quite bitty, the work I'm doing. I'm missing a week and coming back, and and so I'm losing the flow a bit. That's my only kind of excuse I can give. And it takes a while to get your head back into the work you're doing because it's been a while. And anyway, But I should really have made a note on the garage wall, don't forget to fit pawl, because P-A-W-L, pawl, because you know, I'd left it out so I could turn it. But there you go, there you go. You live and learn. At least it, you know, it's not going to damage anything. It's just a pain. And as we say, I've done the job a few times now, so it's going to be dead fast. I know exactly how to do it, exactly what tools I need. So that's the only advantage. It will take me like a quarter of the time it did the first time I did it. And again, I'll be reassembling all the gear, selectors, etc., and that mechanism, and that will help me understand that mechanism even more. And anyway, we've got, oh yeah, and this is all ready now. I've fitted this blanking nut at the bottom, and I've so it's all ready now to go on, so that when I do get it done, do get the new studs in, then we just got to fit all. I've just got to check the kickstart. The only question I've got on the kickstart is, where is it? We've now got this rubber mounted shock absorber, so that when you sort of let go of the kickstart, if you let go of it, if you take your foot off it, it shoots back, and it can crack the casing because of the kickstart wanging up when you let go of it down the bottom. So we've got this rubber thing fitted. What I'm worried about is, because that's a much bigger diameter, that it will therefore stop the kickstart in a different position, and the kickstart lever itself will be at a much shallower angle. So that's the only thing I'm not sure about, so I'll investigate that before we do everything. But before I do any of that, I'm not going to do it on camera because I've done it so many times. I'm going to take that off. I might just show you fitting the pawl, and then put the whole thing back on again. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah.